This is Up for Grabs, a podcast where three unfiltered friends talk about anything and everything. And now, here are your hosts, Tracy, Kim, and Rachel.
Welcome to Up for Grabs. Thank you for joining us again. I'm here with my friends Tracy.
Hello.
Are we still friends?
Nope.
Alrighty. And Kim.
Hello.
And today we are going to discuss movies. Now, some of us are avid moviegoers. I think both of you watch more movies than I do.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do.
Yeah.
In fact, I could hardly think of 5 movies that I even watched. I'm kidding. So we're going to talk about movies, ones that we loved, ones that we loved that nobody else did, ones that everyone else loved and we didn't, and then maybe talk about actors or actresses that no matter what they're in, you're going to see it.
Okay.
Okay?
Bring it.
All right. So, and like I said, I think we all agreed it was difficult to come up with just, we tried to limit our favorite movies to 5.
Right.
And that was hard.
Yes.
Because, Tracy, how many did you have?
A baker's dozen.
A baker's dozen. Now you're making me hungry. I got 5, but they're not necessarily like, I don't know. They're just movies that I enjoyed watching that I would want someone else to see.
Yeah, we're not trying to be movie critics here.
No.
Where my only 5 that I, were my favorites, like that had Oscar nominations.
Exactly.
No, just what spoke to me.
Yes. And
Okay.
I love going to the movies. I love watching movies.
I think you like the
at home.
popcorn.
I don't need your judgment.
Am I
don't
wrong?
Eat,
No,
whether
you're
I am
100% right.
stuffed to the brim after dinner, I do not go to a movie without getting their popcorn. I just don't.
Extra butter?
No.
Oh. Extra salt?
I do like more salt
Let's
than
go.
butter.
All
Yeah.
of it. All of
Extra, all of it?
it. Everything.
Yes.
I need a drink the size of a car
Oil
wash
drum?
bucket. Yep. Whatever. Yep. Yeah. I need that.
No, it just makes it more enjoyable.
Well, and I also...
And I like to sneak in my own stuff.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Zachary once snuck in Chinese food and it was hilarious, but
Where do you put it?
in my purse.
Ew.
Wow. I mean, props, because we
Do you bring like a suitcase?
always hit...
I always have a big purse, so it works.
We always hit a gas station or something before. I refuse. The popcorn I'll pay for.
Yeah.
But not the candy.
And also, I guess since COVID's been going on and we haven't been in a movie theater, it is true. A movie is better at a movie theater.
Oh,
no matter. I mean,
absolutely.
we've been sitting here watching a lot of
Yes.
things on Netflix, and I'm like, the movie is good, but I'm here for the atmosphere.
When the kids were little, we went to the dollar movies like at least once a week.
We did too.
Because I didn't care what's on. I have no idea. I'll find out when I get there. Here's my money.
But in a hot summer day, if it was raining or something, like air
perfection. I know
conditioning,
it.
couple hours, candy, let's go.
Yep, I'm in.
Okay. Well, I guess we can just start going around the table. We'll start with favorite movies, and I only did 5. Kim, did you follow the rules?
I pretty much, I think maybe 6. Maybe 6. I'm sorry.
You got wild with 6. Okay, Tracy.
Because I kept thinking of ones.
Whatever.
Okay, Tracy, why don't you start with one
Okay.
a movie that is your favorite?
Okay. If I had to pick one that was my favorite that I've seen probably 15 times.
Okay.
And if I get to pick a movie with my kids and we watch it, and it could be any really from this series, but Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
They are
so
great.
funny.
They are great.
And it just reminds me of when the kids were younger.
Yes.
And it's still funny every time we say lines all the time. Da, 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 Mom bucks. Like, we say these lines
See, I don't
all
know.
the time.
I did see one of them, and the scene that I loved the most, and I remember when the kids were young, and I told Sam, is it Rowley?
Yeah.
Rowley and his mom do that dance routine.
scene.
It's so good.
Okay, I'm like, Sam, when you get married, that's us. We're totally doing a choreographed dance scene, and he,
I
of
love
course,
him so much. And his relationship with his mom's hilarious. And now I'm going to we watched it a couple weeks ago and I'll watch it again.
Well, do you remember the controversy, I say that in quotes, about the change in Roderick's? What is your take on that? Like, it was hashtag not my Roderick when they changed him.
I don't know why things like that happen. The actor didn't get too big. Did he die? I don't know.
Yeah,
If
I
he-
didn't
If
understand.
like the original actor died, then I'm good
didn't
with it.
understand why-
Other than that, you don't replace people.
No, I thought it was.
So why did they?
I
do
didn't
it?
like it that they did that.
I didn't talk to the producer. I don't know that answer.
You're not friends with them because I thought you were going to say. And funny enough,
Well, I can't find out. And Alex has gotten. She DM'd the main character. I forget who he is. Just to say how much we love the
Greg
show.
Heffley?
Greg Heffley, and he replied. This was just like 6 months ago.
Well, that
So they
is
had
awesome.
they've had a little conversation.
well, tell her to get to the bottom of what happened with Roderick because he must have been a jerk or something.
I will put her on that case.
And what was the name of Roderick's band?
Loaded diaper.
With umlauts? Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, that
Okay.
No, that
well
is, and
done.
that's a movie we
So-
saw. We went to the dollar show to see again.
Yeah.
You know, like because it was
Yes.
just fun to see it in the movie theater. That's.
I mean,
that's a
I've
good.
owned the DVD. I bought it on my cable box recently.
that is cute.
Any way to
it
have
is.
it,
It's
I
a
get
good
it.
one.
Well, and those I didn't see all the. I saw the first one, and the kids saw all of them and loved them as much as the books, which is unusual. Usually, one is better than the other,
Correct.
or they did it wrong, or they didn't.
I really
catch
think it's
it.
genius, and I think it will stand the test of time.
I love you. Okay, Kim, give me one that you love.
Well, I'm going in a completely different direction.
Really?
A completely different
She's
direction.
gonna be
than
like,
this.
Godfather.
I mean, and this was a movie that probably garnered Oscar nominations, but this is one of the first movies that I saw that I thought I'm getting mature because
Here we go.
it had to do with history, and it had. I don't think it was necessarily. Well, I guess it was a period piece, but I absolutely I saw it in the movie theater, and it was a long Braveheart.
Braveheart.
And
I was going to say, is she going to say Outlander? Because that's
well,
not.
that's not a
Yes.
movie because I would have said that. But Mel Gibson at his height, at his peak,
I've never seen it.
and it's about Scotland trying to their freedom. William Wallace. I mean, I don't know why I have because my girls were like, seriously. I mean,
I'm a little bit shocked.
I don't know why, but it's one of those movies that there's a certain scenes in it that if it's on TV, I have to wait until that scene. There's just scenes to me that just are heartbreaking, and I don't know why. I just love it.
Okay.
Well, now I feel like I need to watch it.
She wants her freedom. I don't know.
Yeah, what does
And
he
that's
yell?
the
What's
whole
the meme?
freedom. Yeah.
What's the
I
meme?
didn't get
gonna
really
imitate it, I
into it.
didn't.
I didn't get really into it though because I really could have because he says it real raspy, and he has a Scottish accent. I mean, I know Mel Gibson kind of went off
nuts. Yeah.
went off the deep end, but not in that movie. He was, and I think he directed it. I think it was an amazing movie.
Okay. Well,
She sticks by that.
she sticks by.
I do.
You're
I'm
not the only one, so I'm not mad at you for it.
And I'm going in a completely different direction
Okay.
than Braveheart. The first one I thought of that I said has to be on the list is Stand By Me.
Okay, I love Stand By Me.
And I love it because
That's-
Rob Reiner directed it.
Yeah.
And he's wonderful. And all the little boys that were in it grew up, some of them. I know. To be successful acting. And the soundtrack is hands down the best soundtrack of any movie.
I can't even argue on that.
I can't argue either.
I
Great.
mean, River Phoenix, God love him.
I know it.
I just loved him.
I know.
Yeah,
So I miss him.
that's a solid choice.
Thank you. What you got next, Tracy?
Oh gosh. Okay, I'll say my favorite Christmas time movie is Love Actually.
Is that the one where the guy comes to the door hitting on her
Yep.
when she's upstairs
Yep.
with the other guy?
Is it several different stories?
Yes.
I love that movie.
I've never seen it all the way through. I just saw the one scene. And I thought, really? He's going to come to the door with a sign?
Yep.
That's nervy.
It is nervy. I don't know. It's just I
No,
like
it's
Hugh
good.
Grant. Hugh
No.
Grant, right?
Oh,
Hugh?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Love him.
I do love him.
Pretty sure he has a crush on me. Probably not, but that's how I feel on the inside when I watch that because he's so charming.
No, it
He
is.
told me he was upset he wasn't
And
invited.
Liam Neeson's
Liam
in it.
Neeson. I was just going to say Liam Neeson, Hugh Grant. There's
See
a
where
lot
I'm
of
going with
famous
this?
people in it.
Yeah.
That is a very good, like Christmassy feel good movie.
Yeah. So that's one that's on my list. I'm going to do a second one while
Okay.
I'm here, and that it's in a category of its own. It's favorite movie I like to listen to that I've listened to probably 50 times and only watched once.
Okay.
The kids used to always watch it in the van. The Cat in the Hat, Mike Myers version.
Ew.
Oh,
Oh.
And I can recite the whole thing. I have no idea what's happening on the screen because I only listen to it through the speaker.
nope.
Nope. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Say what you want. It's funny.
It's Oh, he looked so gross in that. I couldn't even watch the trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, ew.
Staff meeting. Yeah, we say the things from that all the time too.
Oh boy.
I know. I don't
You're
need your
alone in
judgment.
that.
I
No,
can be
well,
alone. I'm
okay.
happy. I'm fine alone.
The
I'm a
best movie
lone
to
wolf.
just listen to is Cat in the Hat.
In case we needed to fill that category. Okay,
Ew,
Kim, you're
okay.
up.
I picked a movie that was in 1991. It's called Once Around. And I think that the reason I picked this movie is because I want to encourage people to rent it and
is
to
it?
watch it. It stars Richard Dreyfuss, Holly Hunter, and Danny Aiello. And it's Richard Dreyfuss is older, and he falls in love with Danny Aiello's daughter, who's Holly Hunter. And Richard Dreyfuss is just a complete fool in this movie, and he's quirky and he's bizarre, and it drives Danny Aiello crazy. And it is an unbelievable love story and just about family. I highly recommend you guys watch it. It is so
Say it again so I can write
good.
it down.
Once Around.
Once Around.
I'm not writing it down, so send me a text later.
Yeah, 1991. Because I had to look up because I knew that Danny Aiello, I think he's passed in the past couple, not very long ago. It's got a great soundtrack. I don't know how, I didn't look to see. I don't know how well it did at the box office, but if it didn't do well, it should have.
You want to bring it back?
I want to bring it back.
Well, the only Richard Dreyfuss movie that I can think of that I loved was What About Bob?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I just saw online, I don't know how it was timely, but I just saw online that apparently during the filming of What About Bob, Richard Dreyfuss and Bill Murray did not get along. Like Richard
can kind
Dreyfuss,
of see
I
that.
can see that. Richard Dreyfuss has a really strong personality. And I think that obviously Bill Murray is just nuts in a good way. But
there was some real tension,
That
I
is the
guess.
person Zach is most afraid of in the world.
Bill Murray?
Yep. I don't know why.
What is
Another
Bill
fun
Murray
fact.
going to do
I
you?
don't know, but he doesn't.
Okay.
You're not even allowed to mention his name in his presence.
Spooks him.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I wrote that one down because I'm interested in
No,
in
it's
watching that.
really good.
Okay, the next movie I wrote down that I think that everyone should see is Parasite. Did you see it?
Never even heard of it.
I know that it was Oscar nominated. The
It
first
won Best Picture 2 years ago.
I really thought that it was like a horror movie. Like it was like, some gross like parasites killing people everywhere. But I know I have not seen
Okay,
it.
so Parasite, it did win Best Film.
Okay.
And it was in 2019. So, but it's from South Korean director. And so it was filmed in South Korea. So there's subtitles. And I knew that it was a good movie. Excuse me, because, quit snarling
No,
when
I
I
want
said
to hear. I'm
subtitles.
interested here.
I knew it was a good movie because I thought I was going to be irritated by the subtitles.
Right.
And I totally forgot they were there.
That-
I was
yeah.
it was intense. Ooh, it was intense. There were like 3 different plot twists that you didn't see coming.
Can you give us just a real quick, like, what's it about?
It's about social class. So the parasite part is about these people leeching on to these poor people leeching on to more wealthy people in South Korea and trying to kind of infiltrate their life by one to be their driver and one to be the tutor for their kids and one to be the housekeeper, like just kind of, But then there's somebody in the basement and then somebody dies. And I'm just telling you, there were 3 different plot twists that I'm like, that made me say no way. And usually in a good film, there's one that you're like,
Seriously, is there only one that you say something out loud in?
Thank you. Flashback to college road trip. What was it that you acted a fool on?
it was Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
the one that acted a fool at college road trip. You cried in a Martin Lawrence movie.
Oh,
It was touching. My kids were getting older. It was
Stop.
hard.
It was so embarrassing.
okay. Well, okay.
Parasite.
you
I
wrote
feel
down-
like that was such an intellectual flex on your part. You were like South Korean subtitles.
you explained that
Like-
really well, but I want to watch it now. I have to make sure I've got a good
if I
nap
do,
in
I
and
won't ever
everything.
tell you,
because it
even
gets
if
hard.
I enjoy it.
It's hard to watch a movie with subtitles if you're tired, so I'm gonna have to.
It is.
Make sure I nap
And
up.
I thought I wouldn't like it.
So my next category that no one asked are movies or movie types that I find aggravating. Because when I'm coming up with a list of things I like, the way my mind works, I immediately come up with things that I don't like. And it includes Ferris Bueller's Day Off, very aggravating. Monty Python,
I'm on there with I don't.
Mr. Bean,
Oh no
Woody
no.
Allen. You could take all that flush it. I don't like it. I'm probably
I
gonna
don't
get
agree
beat on
with
that.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I think that's one of the best movies.
Like I said,
But the rest of them, I'm right there with you.
Okay, give me this one little thing though. I have a fair amount of anxiety, and movies like Ferris Bueller, where it's constantly almost getting caught.
Yeah.
I'm in a state of angst the entire time. I don't find that enjoyable. I'm like, I need to be settled. Can you already just get busted for skipping school?
When I was in high school, I loved Ferris Bueller. When I rewatched it, I didn't. It wasn't nearly as captivating to me.
Yeah, it's not a rewatcher to me. I just enjoyed it when I watched it the first time.
Well, Lillian and I watched it, and she's like, okay, and I love her. She's like, he's a horrible friend. This poor, his
that's
poor
true.
best
That's
friend has
true.
like serious mental health issues, and he is brushing them off so he can have fun. She's like, he's the worst. And I'm like, when you look at it that way, you
I
can't
know.
unsee it. And
Yeah.
you're like, ew, he's a selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
So all of those things I find aggravating.
Okay. But the only one I'll agree with some of those, Monty Python movies are great.
Like
Either you get it or you don't.
I think
That's
I get
exactly-
it. I get it. I just don't necessarily find it funny. Like in college, I think I had several friends that were like really into it. So I'd like watch them and I'm like,
No, you didn't get it.
I got it. I just
No.
didn't think it was funny.
It wasn't. I don't. That
You're not funny. Maybe
that-
you're not funny. That's
No,
not funny.
that's how I know.
I
I
said
feel
what
that
I
way
said.
too. I just don't think it's.
I'm going to die on this hill.
I don't think it. I don't.
And before Woody Allen was super canceled, there were several Woody Allen movies that I did like. But
How
now
are we friends?
are we? After all this, after all that's been said and done,
I've never been
This is
a
it.
Woody Allen fan, and I can't say that I've seen a whole lot. And now I really won't watch anything that he does. Anything
ruined
with.
it.
But I never understood the hype of him. One of my all-time, and I mean, I'm sure this is a lot of people's, but every time I watch it, and I can watch it over and over again, is The Wizard of Oz. I can find something different in it, or find something, like, oh, I find it amazing that Judy Garland, the age that she was, did a movie like that and did it so well. The singing, the dancing, I absolutely loved
and I think
her.
maybe that movie might have been, especially for people our age, kind of the start of the love of movies, or like the
Yes.
possibility of movies. Because don't you remember, like every year they'd show it on TV,
And that's what it
Yes.
was. It was
like an event.
It was an
And
event,
then I
and it was
remember
so grand.
vivid-
Everything was so
yeah.
big.
And then when they put it in color for the first time, I mean, yeah, it was an event. It was like we all sat downstairs, we had popcorn, and we watched The Wizard
Yes.
of Oz. I mean, that just, and that's probably a lot of the reason it's a nostalgia, but as an adult, I can still watch it. A Christmas Story. We surprised Joe a couple Christmases ago, and we made reservations, and we went to Cleveland, and we visited the house that part of it was filmed in. It's kind of misleading. The street views and the first opening scene is actually filmed in that house, but most of it I think was filmed in Canada. Okay. I'm almost positive, but it's there. And they have it as a museum, and it did terrible in the box office when it came out.
It did?
Absolutely terrible. And I think now it's kind of more like a cult classic, where that movie, we go see it in Franklin at the Art Craft we've done it for years. Joe and his dad used to take the kids all the time, and then I've been going. So we see it every time that it's at the Art Craft, and that is just a classic Christmas movie.
It is.
The dad reminds me of my dad. The mom,
He's every dad.
he is every dad. It's just, and talk about great acting with the kids. The kids are great actors in that, and just the humor.
Yes.
So I love that movie. One that I loved, that I put down was The Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis and
Yeah.
Haley Joel Osment, and like I was looking it up, and like it won tons of Academy Awards. It was like the highest grossing one in 1999.
It was.
So yes, and my Maddie had recently seen it, and that's kind of what brought it up, and she was like, "Oh my God, I loved that movie," and so it's I feel like it still sticks.
It's one of the movies that there could be a whole podcast about movies that I've never seen, that I'm embarrassed to say I've never seen because everybody has seen them. I've never seen that movie.
Yeah, it's really good. I think it holds up.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
it
it holds
does.
up.
I just remember
So-
I See Dead People. I kind of get. I've heard enough about it that I know kind of what happens. But
It's
I've never
cool to
seen
see
it.
Bruce Willis outside of Die Hards. It's to see him as like an act, like a serious actor, a serious actor. And I love Bruce Willis, but yeah, it's really good.
Okay. I'll do a couple of mine. I had to put in as a favorite Goodfellas, because I'm not necessarily that's not necessarily my genre. I don't necessarily love mob movies.
Mob movies, yeah.
I like them a lot.
But I can watch that over and over again.
Yeah.
And just, yeah. So Goodfellas was
that's a good
definitely
movie.
one. That came out in 1990. That I liked it and I was surprised. The opposite of Goodfellas is another one of my favorites. Did you guys see Little Miss Sunshine?
Oh, yes.
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 And that's the one, it came out in 2006, and it's just all-star cast. It has Greg Kinnear, Toni Collette, and Steve Carell. And that's the movie that I couldn't even remember exactly what happened. I just knew that they went on a road trip, and she was going to be at some pageant, and she was a mess. And I just remember the scene where she performed at the pageant was just so cute. And the family like helped her, and then they kicked them out, and then they went home. But they were all happy, like they all just kind of, I don't know. It was a simple movie, but I just thought it was really. It made me feel
that's
good.
That's a movie I haven't seen forever. That's a really good movie. Is it Abigail Breslin? Okay,
Yeah.
So my next category is an anti-category. Again, it's not a category. I'm just going to name a couple.
She made up her own categories and didn't tell us.
A couple of movies that don't really fall into any categories, but they're like movie memories, kind of.
Okay.
So the first one is going to be, I guess I'll do them chronologically, and it would be The Apple Dumpling Gang Rides Again. And the only reason, Kim's face, the only reason I'm mentioning this is that we went to see it at the movie theater. What do you got to say?
Rides Again. Is this not the original Apple Dumpling
I think
Gang?
it was the sequel.
Oh my God.
And
Don
you
Knotts.
paid to see it.
No, so it was during Christmas time. My grandma died in 81 and she was with us, I'm pretty sure. So it was like before that. But my parents, we went to see this at the movie theater, and it was during winter in Indiana. Horrible. We were the only ones there because the roads were so horrible. We had no business being on the road, and we were the only ones there. So we had the whole theater to ourselves. The only time that had ever happened. My dad sat there and smoked throughout the entire movie. Again, it's early 80s, late 70s. Delightful memory of mine is my dad smoking in the movie theater, and we were the only ones there. No one ever said a word to him.
And you enjoyed the movie.
Enjoyed the movie?
You don't even know if you enjoyed the movie. It was
Of course I did. It was a Disney produced movie.
It was a private showing.
It was a private showing. Felt pretty bouge. So that's one. The next would be super obscure. It was called Peter Ibbotson. It was made in 1935. I became obsessed with it. I watched the Turner Movie Classics channel, like in the late 80s, a lot.
Turner Classic Movies.
Whatever. I didn't make up the name, whatever. And so anyway, I would watch those, and I became obsessed with this movie for some reason.
What's it called?
Peter Ibbotson. It had Gary Cooper.
Okay.
Super handsome.
Yeah.
And the cinematography is beautiful in it. And I don't know why I was so taken by this movie, but I felt compelled to try. Okay, so back then you had to record a movie. If you couldn't go buy it, you had to record it on your, what do you call that? VCR.
VCR.
I was calling Turner, trying to get the programming. I spoke to the programming director at Turner, trying to see when they could play it so that I could record it. While they didn't have it coming, tells me the production company that had it in California. So I called this company.
Oh my.
It was only available on reel to reel for $100, which in the late 80s was a lot of money. They put it on a VCR tape, and I bought it from them from a reel to VCR. I still have it. But it's totally weird that I just needed to own this movie. It's like this.
What's the plot?
The plot is like this. Okay, these little kids, and they're so cute. And his name's Go-Go, this little boy. But they fall in love, like they're childhood sweethearts. Like they play together, adorable. Then they get separated. He goes to jail when he shouldn't have. And they are able to reunite in each other's dreams.
Oh,
so they
for
can
1935, that's kind of progressive, isn't it?
It was progressive, and they could communicate that way, and the filming is beautiful. So we should watch it together.
Talk about
I know we should watch it together. I'm
talking
interested
about all
in that.
bougie. Me talking about subtitles. You're going
She was real
1935.
mature.
1935 on
watching
you.
classic movies in the
I
80s.
was.
Wow.
And then to take away any maturity or street cred I just got, another
Correct.
that makes the list is Stuart Saves His Family.
Oh my God.
It's so fun.
I'm
Wait a
so
minute,
glad
that's
she
at the-
didn't go with Medea. I thought for sure.
it's coming.
I really thought for sure.
I love Medea.
I know you
Medea's
do.
coming. Wait a minute, Stuart Saves His Family. That's the guy. That's Al Franken, right?
It's so funny if you've ever seen it though. Like his family is so dysfunctional. They are next level, and he's in like every 12-step program trying to salvage his life because his family is so dysfunctional. They have eating disorders, drinking, like every horrible thing. They are abusive, and he just wants.
Joe would say, "So you're one of the 10 people that saw that movie." That's what he would say.
I also own that. It is so good. Oh my god. I'm gonna kidnap you guys and make you watch these with me because
I'm not
so
watching that.
funny. I think you might. Oh my god! Now I feel like that's my goal in life is to like tell you I'm sick and you have to watch it with me. Okay. I guess
Good thing you
that's
know
it.
that you have to pretend to be dying for us to sit down and watch Stuart Saves His Family.
I bet someone else out there enjoys it.
I'm sure.
I'm sure Al Franken's listening. Hi, Al. You got a fan. Are there any other weird categories that only you made that you didn't tell us about?
Cute guy categories, cute guy movies. Do you have that one?
I didn't have
St.
that
Elmo's Fire.
No, there's lots
Every
of those.
guy in St. Elmo's Fire.
I was going to say every
hot.
80s movie, probably.
Yeah, every 80s movie.
I had some
I
overrated.
think I'm done.
one. Okay, keep going, Kim.
And my family was concerned that I was going to really make a number of people mad at this.
Good.
And it's no disrespect to the actors in this movies. I personally cannot watch anything, and I know I'm going to make you upset, Tracy,
Okay.
with Adam Sandler. I don't think he's funny. Seems like
Okay.
he's supposed
It's
to be the
okay. I'm
nicest
not
guy in
upset.
Hollywood. I don't like his voices. I don't like his quirkiness.
No Big Daddy.
No.
The only one that I liked is that 50 First Dates. Did he do that with Drew Barrymore?
Yeah, and I can't stand Drew Barrymore, so I just can't do it.
It's hard.
Okay.
And
I'm a
I-
little
not that I
surprised.
don't dislike him as a human being, just don't like his movies. I think one of the most overrated Christmas movies ever is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And I know my brother-in-law Mike probably, I think he quotes movies. He's got a really weird brain. Chevy, whatever his name is.
Chevy.
There's nothing funny about it. There's nothing, and I'm talking too loud. Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I'm sorry. Did you just do an impersonation of a former president?
Not gonna do it.
Did I hear that?
I heard it.
You did. I can't do it. And then the other one that was very overrated, and they even had a sequel, and it's got some great comedians in it, but it just did not work. It was overdone. Was Grown Ups.
Well, that's with Adam Sandler.
But I love Kevin James. I love Chris Rock.
It was a money grab, I think.
It was
for
a
them.
money grab, and it
liked
was just a hodgepodge of nonsense.
Tracy cried.
It was like each of them trying to do. I know each of them trying to do their shtick.
Yes.
But it just didn't work as a group. And then they made like a second part. I mean, there were some funny scenes.
I saw
but,
Grown Ups too as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there were some funny scenes, but those three. So I guess in the comedy genre, I just have a really hard time with just.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love him either.
Yep.
I don't get it. But that's okay. I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. The last movie that I think people should watch, and then I'll go on to some of my overrated and underrated, is I did love, and it's not another genre that I'm not usually into because I hate scary movies and I can't watch them and I sleep with the lights on afterwards. But I loved Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a gory, it was a psychological thriller, and that it was just, I watched it and loved it and hated it all at the same time, and it was just.
Did
really
you ever
well
read
done.
the book?
Correct.
I mean, that books typically don't do well in movies, but I remember I read that book, and then
Didn't even know it was a book.
Yeah, it did. It did. I mean, the book followed the movie. Yeah, I 100% agree.
Okay.
That movie, and I'm surprised.
I know.
because you couldn't even watch. I told you to watch the night of, and you said you couldn't make
It
it
was
through
too
one
much.
episode. But daggone, Silence of the Lambs is a lot.
It is, but it just.
Clarice. Okay.
Okay, that was good. Did you hear
Yes, I
that?
did.
She's so talented.
Rich Little.
Just gonna say
Rich Little over here. Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so one of my overrated things that people celebrated that I did not like. I did not like the movie Forrest Gump.
I can watch that again and again.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm so sorry.
And there's certain scenes that get on my
I mean,
nerves.
it's ridiculous.
It is
The
ridiculous.
concept's ridiculous, but entertaining.
I felt it was just too long.
It is
That's
long.
what she said.
I knew that. I knew that was going to happen.
You know, I let one go earlier that you said. I was like, I'm being mature. I'm not going to say it. And here you are.
That was too easy, though,
was.
Rachel. Way too
I'm
easy.
sorry.
I'm sorry.
No disrespect to Tom Hanks for Forrest Gump. Obviously,
He's doing all right.
He's fine. I mean, he did a good
He's
job.
okay.
I
He's
can
okay.
understand where that movie could get on people's
It
nerves.
got on my nerves.
Yeah. But you know what was really cool about that movie is that was like when they had introduced like the type of special effects that they did.
Yeah.
You know, where they kind of put him in
green,
the setting.
Green screen, blue
Yeah,
screen,
and I
whatever
thought
it
it was neat seeing that at the movie theater, and that because you hadn't seen stuff like that before.
You're
I think I like the scenery and I like the way they did things, but I can understand where
I struggled
it's
with
a lot.
Jenny.
Jenny was a bitch.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I struggled
And
with
how
her
he
too.
was so kind to her, and she was so horrible to him.
He didn't know
And
better any
even-
better. He
she
just
took
was
advantage.
kind.
I know.
One of the other overrated movies, I tried to be sophisticated and watch a movie that got a lot of accolades. The Graduate.
Is that Michael Douglas?
No,
Oh, God.
it's Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, I get them confused in older movies like that. I've never seen that.
It was 1967. I thought, because I like Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah.
Tootsie. I mean, what the
Tootsie,
heck?
that's what when I think of him, when I think of Tootsie.
I'm sure he
I bet
just
he loves
cringed.
that.
I know. And then was he in Kramer versus Kramer?
Was he one of the Kramers?
I hope I'm
Did you
not
guys
getting
have a
them
Kramer
confused.
versus Kramer cheer in grade school?
No.
What?
Whoa, West Side.
I got
Wait a minute. Was it? Wait a minute.
like Kramer versus Kramer will gain victory with a something.
What does that have to do with
Because
cheering?
it was over. It was a divorce.
It was a divorce case. But there was a cheer in grade school that we did on the sidelines
No.
at dear old St. Michael's. Yes, I did.
Something about like
Then Kramer versus Kramer will gain victory of a Raider. I don't know.
You-
Crusader victory. I don't remember the words, but heck yes, we had a Kramer
Oh,
versus
I was
Kramer.
right. It is Dustin Hoffman. I was so afraid that I was going to make a fool of myself. So you had a cheer.
Yeah.
About
Kramer
divorce.
versus Kramer.
I swear.
at the Catholic school.
That is interesting.
Random facts.
And
that
I
come
got
out
in
my
trouble
mouth.
for making up a cheer about Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we used to cheer about shaking our booty. Who
Absolutely.
Shake your caboose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
thought
had
it
a,
was a
we
good
had a
cheer.
mom that got really mad at us when
If
we
you'd
were
like to know the cheer, please just email us. I'll let you know what it is. Your kids can use it. Apparently for third graders, it
a
was
lyrical
inappropriate.
genius. It really was. It wasn't appropriate though. We rubbed some.
We rubbed some people the wrong way, which is how I live my life. So I didn't like The Graduate. And the last one that I thought was overrated that made me mad that I didn't like, that it was super dark, and I was mad about it because I thought it was going to be uplifting and fun, was The Lion King. Hated it.
What?
Nobody hates The Lion King.
I hate The
There were
Lion
some
King.
dark parts in it.
No,
but
not dark parts. It was violent and awful and sad. And there was nothing about it that I thought was uplifting and good.
Well, I disagree.
It made me sad.
Had some funny moments, and it had really good music.
I
really
can't get
fun
over the
songs.
sadness.
Huh.
I was so disappointed.
It is sad, but
So is
get over
Bambi.
it?
yeah.
Well, I've never seen Bambi.
Sad too.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Somebody dies.
Bambi
You're
is
gonna
tragic.
Well, that is one.
And Charlotte's Web too.
That is one category that no one asked for that I just thought of. Movies that have anything to do with dogs and how I can't and I can. Like, I won't cry at Kramer versus Kramer with a family like
Falling
being
apart, right.
broken up in half. But
But Marley and Me, get the tissues.
oh my god,
Yes.
The Art of Racing in the Rain.
Yeah.
my dog
Oh,
Skip.
The Art of
my-
Racing in the Rain. Our shirts were wet from crying.
I sobbed through the whole book.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
movie just brought it to another level.
Correct.
So yeah, a dog movie well done is pure gold. But I guarantee I cry.
Oh, same here.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was my topic that no one asked for.
Excellent.
We heart good dog movies.
Yeah, I agree.
What you got?
Okay. Other randos that I like, The Outsiders. Everyone likes The Outsiders, right?
Yes.
Because they're cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was just, I liked it. Still Magnolias. Again,
Absolutely.
Make me cry. I'm there for it.
What's her Olympia Dukakis?
Yes.
She made that movie, as far as
So
I'm
good.
concerned.
Next one that'll be on TV like once a month that I watch, Coal Miner's Daughter.
Tracy.
It's so good. Have you
I know,
seen it?
and I have not seen it. No, I haven't.
All
I
right,
know,
judgers.
and I need
You
to.
sit there
I
and
need
judgment
to.
of me, and you haven't seen it.
Is it Loretta Lynn? Her life story because her
Yes.
dad was
Yeah,
a coal
played
miner.
by Sissy Spacek, who is her
Oh yeah, she won an Oscar
sister,
for that. I think.
younger
Yeah.
sister, cousin,
Excuse me?
something. They're
They're
Sissy
related?
Spacek and
I think they're-
Loretta Lynn
I
are
think they're
related.
I think so. I could be making that up because I do make shit up. I'm not positive. All right, now I feel like I totally made that up. Maybe I just wanted them to be.
I can't watch Sissy Spacek.
I have a really hard time with her too, but I
Carrie,
know she's a good actress. I know
she
she
spooks
is.
me
It's
out.
just, I just
All right.
She's a no.
Hoosiers for the nostalgia of it.
Okay.
I'm here
Yeah.
for Hoosiers. Rudy.
yeah.
I don't like Rudy. My favorite T-shirt I ever saw was Rudy was offsides. I thought that was the funniest thing I'd ever seen. And to be honest with you, I've never watched the movie.
Okay,
then
how can you hate it?
cannot
Because it's
say
so
you don't.
good.
You know, I have
You
a hard
would cheer
time.
for him.
I'm not a
You
really.
would cheer for him all day long.
I'm not a real big fan of like sports type, like Hoosiers and Rudy. I've seen them both; they are good, but they're not ones that I'll rewatch again and again. Like, you know what? You know the story, like
Yeah,
it.
you know. And so you're happy every time it happens in the end.
I
that
don't
way.
know. I
They
just
win.
you can't say you don't like Rudy if you haven't seen it.
Well, I dislike the idea so much that it turned me off to the point that I didn't.
Yeah.
What idea do you dislike? This boy working hard to
That
make
it
the
was
team that
not
he doesn't.
believable that something like that could
No,
happen.
it's not that. I think maybe I just kind of have in the back of my mind, not hatred for Notre Dame, because that's not right, but I'm sick of Notre Dame.
You
And
just alienated.
Oh, she went
half of
there.
our audience.
She
in-
went there.
in Indiana.
my uncle went to Notre Dame. I mean, it's not like I don't have any sort of ties, but I'm like the mythology of it all. I'm like,
Oh
I
yeah, the
get it.
mystique, the big whatever. Yeah, I get that. The people that you
Yeah.
don't even know anyone who went there, or you don't go there, but you like.
But the people-
cherish it in that way. Yeah,
I
get that.
100% agree. I have.
mean,
But
Yeah.
you know, being Catholic in Indiana, to say you don't like Notre Dame, you might as well just go.
I didn't say I don't like them. I'm not buying in to the mystique. I just not. So I get
I think
it.
each college has their mystique in some way, and I don't know what makes Notre Dame rise above the pack.
The movie Rudy.
Probably,
There's
you know, and they
sports-
had some legends that coached.
sports
I mean,
legends.
you-
I don't
those,
know.
that kind of thing.
I don't know. I
mean,
just felt like Notre Dame had enough press
I
that I
know.
didn't
It
want to
didn't need
help
Rudy?
them. It didn't need me to watch Rudy
Okay.
for it to be successful. I guess is what I'm saying.
All right.
Good for Rudy. I'm all about the underdog, but I just couldn't watch.
okay.
Well, Kim, you thought you were going to alienate people.
Well, yep.
I don't know.
Go ahead and hate on me for Adam Sandler. That's fine.
She feels a lot better with her decision right now.
Okay. Well, what other underrated things did you have? What movie did you love that maybe went under the radar?
Nothing.
Okay, Kim.
I think that's
Honestly,
my
I mean,
list.
I don't know if a lot of people know. My husband makes fun of me all the time because they don't really, and I need to maybe call the production people and have them send me
A reel-to-reel?
A reel-to-reel.
I would be
Peggy
fine.
Sue Got Married. It's a Kathleen Turner,
Yes.
Nick Cage. I am telling you what,
I'm sorry. Did you say Nick Cage?
I did.
your
I know
BFFs?
him. Why did
My friend
I
Nick.
noticed that when I said that?
Your friend Nick.
Well, fancy.
We call him Nicholas.
You know, he's Nick
Those
to-
of us who
in
are
my-
in the inner circle.
I went through a phase where I would have seen anything that he was in.
Ew.
Face Off.
That-
Joe and I went to see that at the movie theater.
Couldn't watch it.
And it was I mean, I liked John Travolta. I did.
We rented it, and I made it 5 minutes in. They both were just
What was
cashed
the-
the check. They had a look on their face like they were looking at their agent across the way, saying like, "Did the check go through?"
What's the
Am
one
I
he
done?
was in with the plane? Oh, I don't know. Anyways, he is absolutely ridiculous. And Peggy Sue Got Married. He's like plays a really nerdy. He's got a really good voice in it. He's got a line where I'm just going to talk. They're in the car and they're making out, and she's getting really, really frisky with him, and he refers to his member as his wang. And the way that he said, "You're talking about my wang, Peggy, my wang, my wang." That's the voice he has. It's the voice he has.
You could not be making this less appealing.
All done.
Watching
I'm
you
out.
turn 12 shades of red. Like I
I'm
think
really embarrassed right now. But I can't help myself.
my
We
God.
talked about it. I can't help myself if I have to like a good. I can't do it. But
I like that you're not stopping. You like double and triple down on this.
give it a try. It's a good movie.
We will. I'll wrap
my
up with
God.
a couple of ones that I thought were underrated. None of them have Nick Cage in them. I think everyone, if you've never seen Stuck on You, needs to see it.
Oh, kind of help me with this. What?
Well,
I know that I've heard of it.
It came out in 2003. It's with Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear as conjoined twins.
Second time you brought up Greg Kinnear as
You
a
don't love
leading
him?
man for you.
You don't love him?
I loved him when he was on that show on E. What was it?
Rake?
No, on the E. Like when he hosted that show where they would
Talk Soup?
Talk Soup. I love Talk Soup, but
I love Greg Kinnear.
He's funny.
He's just, I don't feel like you find him in a lot of things. But
I'm telling
they were
you.
in the movie, they were conjoined the whole time.
yes, it's ridiculous.
I don't think I could do.
Kim, it was funny.
I love Matt Damon too.
See, Matt Damon and Greg Kinnear and Cher was also in it, just in case I didn't
Really?
get you with the first two. It's a Fairly Brothers movie. They did Dumb and Dumber.
Okay,
Something
it's
About
probably
Mary.
got it.
All right.
I bet you it has some good
Oh, it's
parts in it.
stupid.
Then
Oh, it's stupid, but there's 3 or 4 different scenes of them being conjoined that I laugh until I cry. So I just think you need to see it. The other one that I laugh a lot at, and that I at least know that Kim saw it because we watched it together, I believe, was Due Date. It's on Netflix right now. It's with Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, I would
Yeah,
like that. I
it-
would like
yeah.
that.
It's planes, trains, automobiles,
Yeah,
but
it
with
is.
these two.
Okay,
it
I would
is
like that.
really funny.
There are some scenes in
There
that
are some good
that
ones. Oh,
make me cry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the other one that I think is underrated that people should see is The Way, Way Back. Did you see that?
I feel like I did, but I don't recall.
I don't
You
think
don't remember?
so.
It came out in 2013, and it's with Steve Carell and Toni Collette again.
Yes, it was good.
So it's kind of like Little Miss Sunshine back together. It's called The Way, Way Back.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to try that.
And one of the reasons I loved it is the first time I saw Steve Carell in something where he wasn't a good guy.
Okay.
He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, can Steve Carell pull off the bad guy?
Just
And
watch
he,
the morning
can.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he can. And I was
He
like,
is such a good actor.
yes. So that's all I got for you on my underrated. Those are the ones you have to see. We'll close it down with the last question. Just first person that comes into your mind. Must see actor. So if I came up to you and said, this person is in this movie, and no matter if you knew anything about it or not, you'd go see it just because you love this particular actor. Who do you watch, Tracy?
That's really hard.
Okay.
I know that's what she
Yeah,
said.
thank you. Okay, unfair question.
Why?
Because I don't know who's in movies. I don't know who
Who do you
sings
like?
songs.
Who's
I
one of
don't
your
know. I just
favorite?
know if
Who's
I
one of your
like it.
favorite actors?
I don't know.
Kim.
I don't have any favorites. Go somebody else.
There were a couple that came to my
Liam
mind.
Neeson.
Um,
I said it.
okay.
But do you mean it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like him a lot.
I do too.
And I know that he's aging out of a lot of stuff, but at the time, and not like Clint Eastwood,
Yeah.
like the stuff that he's done in the last decade.
So if you hear, hey, Clint Eastwood's involved
Yeah,
with
Clint
this,
Eastwood's
you're
in
going to
this
give it a
movie,
try.
and he directed it as well. I would see it.
Okay. I thought of Philip Seymour Hoffman,
Oh yes,
R.I.P..
What a yes.
and I haven't seen all of his stuff, but every time he's in something, he's steals the show. He's the best. He did Capote.
Yeah.
He's a really artsy.
It was a very artsy answer for her to say, really.
But I really like him.
Do you like his movies to have Korean subtitles?
And maybe if he played Rudy, I would have watched it. I don't know. Oh my gosh, Philip Seymour Hoffman as Rudy would have been really good. Okay. So do you want to change any of your answers?
Nope, I said what I
No.
said.
No, I'm going to stand by what I said.
And I may or may not edit out the fact that I didn't like Rudy enough not to see
That's
it.
all right. I think it needs to stay in. We're speaking our mind. That's what this whole podcast is all about.
I just don't want any hate mail, Kim.
No.
I want to keep this
Nah.
positive. I just couldn't make myself sit down and watch it.
You said what you said. You got to stand
There
by
might
it.
be an Adam Sandler fan club that just completely quits listening. So that's all
Oh.
right. That's all right.
He and his wife. I don't know. In a fan club. Okay, so thank you so much for listening today as we talked all things movies. I hope that we gave you maybe some ideas of movies to go ahead and watch. Or we made you mad by saying we hated movies that you really, really loved. Either way, we're not taking anything back. There's no take backs. I'm not taking it back.
That's right.
Thank you again for joining us. Please join us next time on Up for Grabs, where we will be discussing all things concerts. So get ready for that.
Rock on.
That's right.